The Kashmir dispute is one of the oldest and most dangerous geopolitical issues in the world, involving three parties: India, Pakistan, and the Kashmiri people. The issue arose in 1947 during the partition of India, when the ruler of Jammu and Kashmir announced accession to India. Pakistan did not accept this accession, leading to the First Kashmir War. Since then, the dispute has caused three major wars and numerous border clashes. This is not just a border dispute between two countries but a human, political, religious, and global issue that could bring the world's two nuclear powers into direct confrontation. That is why experts often describe it as a possible flashpoint for a third world war. Over time, different circles have proposed several possible solutions to this problem. Some appear feasible, while others are more theoretical or idealistic. The first and most common solution has been bilateral negotiations between India and Pakistan. The 1972 Simla Agreement stipulated that all disputes would be resolved through talks. In 1999, the Lahore Declaration was another attempt in this direction. However, both initiatives lost effectiveness over time due to deep mistrust, political interests, and nationalist narratives on both sides. India's accusations of cross-border terrorism and Pakistan's objections to human rights violations in Kashmir repeatedly derailed the talks. The second solution was proposed under United Nations Resolution 47, which granted the Kashmiri people the right to a plebiscite to decide whether they wanted to join India or Pakistan. Pakistan continues to support this resolution, but India maintains that regular elections in Jammu and Kashmir already reflect the will of the people. India also argues that the situation has changed since 1948 and ground realities are now different. In this context, India's 2019 revocation of Article 370, which ended Kashmir's special status, was a major turning point. The third solution suggested by some groups is to make Kashmir an independent and sovereign state, belonging neither to India nor to Pakistan. This idea appeals to many Kashmiris, especially the youth who desire full autonomy. However, this option is extremely difficult to implement since neither India nor Pakistan is willing to accept it. For India, it would pose a challenge to national integrity, while for Pakistan, it would mean abandoning a historic claim. Moreover, an independent Kashmir could turn into a weak buffer zone, vulnerable to influence from regional powers. Another proposed solution is to accept the current line of control, LOC, as an international border, while allowing free movement, trade, and cultural exchange across both sides. This model, sometimes called soft borders or joint management, would allow both nations to compromise without abandoning their territorial claims. A comparable example can be seen in Europe between France and Germany, where deep historical rivalries were eventually replaced by cooperation through